Hey everybody, welcome to episode 216 of Sold with Updike Pugh.
I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh. Today we have a great show in store for you. We are bringing on an amazing high-rise unit that is on the 8th floor that has a crazy view.
And in our second segment today, we are going to talk about the highs and lows of high-rise living.
I like how you did that, a little piggybacking right there, didn't you? Well, you know, that's what we get paid for, right? It is interesting.
It is.
So what a weekend it has been. This weekend I got to play some pickleball and actually went to Chicken and Pickle over in Grand Prairie.
Oh, wow. We went there as an office thing one time.
And it was really great. I think that we played on a league, and it was an intermediate league, which is just a hair above. I felt like there's a really natural break where there was really excellent players that should have probably been up, and then there was us. But we lost the first match, but we won the second match. And amazingly, we came back in the second game, and it was a do or die. We were down 8-1 and won it 11-2, and then we won the next game. Wow. So we split it and won.
Wow.
It was exciting.
That sounds fun.
It was. I was really tired.
Yeah, I would imagine. I own pickleball paddles. I have a couple of pickleballs. I need to just go play because we had such a great time that day. We went with our office and did that.
We did, and it's so funny because you cannot judge a book by the cover. Like you look at tennis players and you know, like if they're in that shape, that they're just gonna be able to run every ball down. That is not the way it is in pickleball. You can have a 74-year-old woman come on with a knee brace and make you cry. She will change the way you feel. It is so interesting, and it is great. I mean, everybody was there, and everybody is so nice. There's no snottiness really with it. So we had a great time. We played for like 2 hours, and then they're like, "You can stay longer." I was like, "I'm so done." It was like, "I'm going to be sore." So, what did you end up doing?
Well, this was one of my best friend David Smith's birthday. His partner Dan, her husband Dan. David Smith's birthday, and we spent Friday night with them. We spent Saturday night with them. We couldn't go back out on Sunday. I had so much going on that day, and Adrian did too. But David is a Star Wars, Batman, everything in that genre aficionado, and Dan got him a collectible of Catwoman in this wonderful pose. Her backhand goes behind. You can't really see it, but she's got a whip in that hand that's coiled up on the... And you could tell by the look on his face how happy he was to get that. So it was a lot of fun. Happy birthday, David. We had such a great time spending the weekend with y'all.
Quick trivia question. Do you know who that collectible actress was?
I do know that.
David!
I'm not. Yeah. Oh, God.
It's Michelle Pfeiffer.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that was not who I was thinking of. I was thinking of the original Catwoman.
Oh, you were back even further. No,
yeah.
This is Michelle Pfeiffer. Well, you know what? On that note, I am going to say happy belated birthday to one of our clients also, Dave Kazisko.
Yay!
Not sure how old he is. He's a young spring chicken at heart. So happy birthday, bud. Hope it was a really great day.
Well, let's jump into the market watch.
Why not? So let's take a look. This is the spring market is starting to come to life. I want to point out that the coming soon is not a required field. It's down 2% over last week. Last week we had 58. Today we had 57. But new active listings, this is where we're really beginning to see things shift. So we're plus 16% to 409 in Dallas County in the last 7 days, which is up from 352 the week before. Now, option period, once we're under contract, this is usually the first 7 to 10 days, it is up 3%, 348. Last week we were 337. So these are really great markers that are beginning to trend in the right direction.
And our pendings were down about 4% last week in Dallas County. The number of pendings went to 165. The number of sold properties increased last week, and that was, we had the end of the month again. A lot of people closed toward the end of the month. It was up 13% to 377. And then we went to Optimal Blue, as we do every week, to get kind of what the average interest rate that most mortgage companies are charging across the country. And this week's rate was up 0.13% to 6.73. Yep. And that is, it's really to be expected based upon a lot of the reports that have come out lately. The inflation has risen just a bit. I think the Fed thought they had it under control, and it was on the decline, and then we saw this little blip up. And Chris Kelly, the CEO of our company, does an amazing job of running our company and sharing information in a logical, understandable way. So Friday's real estate roadmap, that is kind of an internal communication, was really spot on.
It was chock full of lots of good information. I think that one of the big things that we're seeing here is that job market is not actually shrinking at all. And so we're just really heavy. Everyone seems to have a job. Unemployment rate is at the lowest I think it's been, and I'm not going to
40 years at least, yeah. And
so these are all indicators that are really slowing the actual lowering of interest rates right now.
Yeah, there are some companies that we're seeing have layoffs, but it's a lot of these companies had really hired a lot of people, and we were talking last night, and most of it's in technology. I think there's, the companies have hired so many workers that they've had them on board for a couple of years now, and they figured out who's doing a good job, who's maybe not as productive, and trimming the fat a little bit.
Well, we will see. Hopefully everything continues to head that direction. Before we jump into the property, I do want to say, I should have jumped this in the first 5 minutes, but wanted to point out that Jason Harkerwriter, who is a friend, also has been on the show multiple times. He is a wonderful horticulturist. He actually is one of the members of Rooted In, at a setup shop in Salina, and a little nursery. Amazing place. Go see him. But my point is, I texted him and said, is it time to take our plants out of the greenhouses, out of the bedrooms, out of the garages, and bring them out? And he actually said it is okay. He said the next 10 days look great, and that should put us past the last chance for a freeze. So it looks like it is time to take your plants and set them out.
Get them out. That was part of what I did on Sunday. Was I brought a lot of the plants out, and I went to Home Depot, spent way too much money, took on more than I could chew, but had a great 4 or 5 hours out in the yard with my headphones on, just kind of putzing around. It was really great.
All right.
So our home this week is 4611 Travis, number 809, and this is at the Travis at Katy or the Travis at Knox, depending upon which name you refer to it as. Location is absolutely fantastic. This is right on the edge of the Katy Trail. It is right at the corner of Travis and Knox. One of the most walkable neighborhoods, I think, in Dallas.
It is very interesting because I did hold this open on Sunday, and one of the residents that lives there, and couldn't talk better about this building, said that the reason they bought here is because in a national or in a statewide ranking, this is the number 2 most walkable area in Texas. Number 1 is going to be the downtown South Congress area of Austin, and we all know that. If you're not familiar with it, you go online, you can see that. But this is a really great area. It gets you all the walkability. The joke is that you won't put miles on your car, because once you get there, you can walk everywhere you want to go. But in the instance that you still need to get out and about, know that 75 runs north and south, and that will get you into downtown or to Plano, Frisco. But you can also jump over and quickly and easily be on the toll road, or carry over just a hair further, and you'll be right there at Love Field.
And if you need to get to DFW, super easy from here. If you need to get into the southern sector of the city, super duper easy. It is, I think, such a centralized location. There's, I live, I don't know, not very far from there, but it's amazing to me how quickly I can be there.
Oh yeah, the highways are great for that. So it's super simple. So one of the things we also like to do is we like to actually show you what we love about this area and really give you a flavor for the area. And so we can't do everything, but one of the things that we want to highlight is the Katy Trail. And this is literally just steps away. And this is a great, it used to be a trail yard.
It used to be a train track.
Called the Katy. And it is an amazing, it is developed, it has its own group that takes care of it. There is a website that you can go to, but when I was comparing and contrasting, it looked like there was more information actually on the Facebook, and they actually have their annual St. Patty's Day run that happens this Saturday.
And it's part of the Greenville Avenue Parade. It actually starts before the Greenville Avenue Parade, and the run Katy Trail is one of the charity sponsors that receives a portion of every runner's bid fee to get into the race.
It's a great, you would love it. It goes all the way to downtown to the American Airlines Center, which is really nice, and goes past West Village. Also in this area, literally at the base of this building almost, is the Toulouse Cafe and Bar. This is a really great Dallas original. It is a wonderful place to go. I believe the last time I was there, I was talking to the waiter, and he said that the staff had been there in the back of the house for 18 plus years. Several of the waiters have been there 10 plus years. Wonderful menu, super simple, great place to go.
Fantastic menu. Mostly everything really kind of leads toward French, but it's not all cream based. There are some other really, really great dishes and desserts as you can see on their website.
That's a great point, 100%. Like, I'm not big on the dairy arena, and this is a great place. I find multiple meals to eat there.
The other place we wanted to talk about this week was West Village. And West Village is just not very far away at all. You can actually hop on the Katy Trail and walk down to West Village. But West Village was one of the first shopping centers, really urban shopping centers that Dallas had. This started back in the late 90s, and it has really grown to be quite the little neighborhood there. We're going to scroll here through some of the stores and the restaurants that are there. And I'm looking 1, 2, 3. I've been to like 5 of the 9 things that we've already looked at there. So
yep, they also have their own movie theater over here, which is really great. But lots of great classic restaurants are here. Excellent shopping. It's all walkable. It is a huge draw for this area and has really anchored and been a go-to for this area for all different age brackets.
So let's talk about our house.
Let's do it. So this is 4611 Travesty, Unit 809A. It is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It is just over 2,100 square feet, priced at $985. It is a really gem in this area.
It is, and the first 6 floors of this building are parking for the for parking. Excuse me. Everybody's got a couple of assigned spaces. This is the secondary living room that you walk into. It's a great TV area. These wood floors are continued throughout most of the unit except for in the bedrooms. And I love the downstairs bedroom that has these French glass doors there because it allows so much light from that window right in through those double doors.
And I think they did a really good job of highlighting that this bedroom and its configuration can easily handle a bed, but also a working desk. It's also an ensuite bathroom, which is great, and it has a full walk-in closet. Now, in the renovation of this, they actually took and did a really great job on this carpet because it has a relief and a nice, easy pattern. And as you see here, that renovation carried over, and so they redid cabinets, they did Caesar stone countertops, and they also did tile on the walls there in the shower. And great thing is they took that all the way to the ceiling.
And I think this level still has the either 9 or 10 foot floors on it. So you really have a lot of, you get the feeling of a very voluminous space that they're certainly large rooms, but you really feel like they're much bigger than they are.
And as you come up here onto the second floor, one of the things that they did in this renovation is they spent the money on this amazing wall of glass. And as it pitches in, we turn to look into both the dining and this living room area. It is a really clean and it's seamless. They've done such a good job. In a space like this, if it gets too choppy, it feels rushed and it feels busy. And this is one of those units that does not feel that way. At the open house, we had so many people through that were just simply amazed at the detail and the fit and finish of this unit.
And the floor continues, the wood flooring continues up the stairs onto this level. And I love, they bought this as a shell 12 years ago and really turned it into a pretty dramatic condo for Dallas, I think. Poke and pole kitchen installed. Those are all Miele appliances. I love the little appliance garage that they included into the right there. Gas cooktop, which is unusual in a lot of high-rise buildings, but built-in refrigerator, dishwasher, wine cooler that you don't see because it's on the other side of the bar, and lighting is done incredibly well.
The utility room is not featured in this deck of pictures. You can check the online. It's right there by the door in the kitchen. One of the great things about this is a full-size washer and dryer, but it also has a pass-through to the master bathroom, so it's easy to bring clothes in, and it has additional storage that goes behind. This is one of the things that makes this such a unique unit, is that it is a corner unit. And so because of that corner unit, we wanted to show you right here, this is how you get those extra windows. Typically, you'd only have front windows, but this also has 2 windows down the side And what a step out patio you have here.
It's really great. These are good sized patios too. As you can see, that's just a 2-seater table there, but you've got, I mean, you could have an entire living room set out there, and look at the incredible views you get. It's just amazing to me.
So many of the great pictures and clouds at sunset will be from this view right here. So this again is that glass wall that I talked about. They did a great job. Came up with a really interesting concept for the brackets that hold it on. The art mead lighting is throughout this unit. And one of the things they did in the remodel that really added bonus, especially post-COVID, is actually adding a separate office. And so as you can see here, how it works with the rest of the room. But one of the things that is really great is that it has its own window. And that is so crucial.
It is.
Again, this is only possible because this is an end unit. Had this been an interior unit, that window would not have been as prominent or there at all, and this probably would have turned into a closet.
It probably would have. And this faces to the northeast, really northeast. Another patio off of this master bedroom. Master bedroom is 18 by 11. You've got a really great set of space. And one of the things that we were talking about earlier is the fact that you have such great storage here.
Yeah, this is one of the, this unit actually has 2 storage closets off of this master balcony, which really adds up. Storage is a premium in anytime you're living in a high rise. But one of the things they did is the ceiling height, again, has continued to be elevated so it doesn't feel like you're living in a small, tight area. And that is so important. The other thing that this has is it has wall space. Wall space is critical for having art and making it feel like a home and not an apartment. They've done a great job with this. And as you can see here, that is a king size bed, and they have 24-inch end tables on either side. And look at this renovation in the master bathroom.
Yeah, this master bath was done so well. This is a double sink vanity, as you can tell. The attention to details, even into the towel racks and the pulls and the fixtures and everything, is just spot on.
We don't have a picture of it, but it also has a large walk-in closet that is not expected in this, and that again was done during the renovation. And this is the master bathroom. What is really interesting about the master bathroom? A, yes, that is a urinal right there. And B, there is no glass in this walk-in shower. There are 2 heads, which is really great, but it is an amazing renovation.
And this is the lobby that you and your guests will enjoy. The lobby has just recently been renovated, new artwork, new wall decorations, new lighting. This HOA takes such great care of the property. This is the informal living area downstairs in the lobby as well. So if you've got some kind of sit-down meeting with someone that you don't want to take up to your home, you've got a space.
Yep, and from the concierge that's 24 hours to this gym, it is well equipped. And you have your private entrance into the Katy Trail, which is a huge extra right here. And this is just a quick walk that we took and looked at it. So this is 4611 Travis, Unit 809A. It is a 2-bedroom and a study. It's a 2-bath, 2-car spaces, built in 2000. Just over 2,100 square feet, priced at $985, and that comes in at $455 a square foot.
A couple other things that I wanted to say about it is this one has parking spaces on level 6, which is just 2 floors below where you live. You walk out of the elevator, parking spaces are right there.
Yep.
And this building has done something that I've never heard of in any of the other buildings, and that is that they've given the owners the opportunity to have a level 2 EV charger, electric vehicle charger, installed in their space.
Right.
And these owners took advantage of that. So that is their waiting as the expansion of the electric car market. I think that's going to become more and more important because
Absolutely.
Public charging stations are going to become more expensive. They are there be more in demand. And if you are wanting, many buildings like this already have a charging space for like 1 car or maybe 2 cars. Like our office has a charging space for 1 car, but I mean, you got to fight for it.
Yeah.
So.
And as an investment element, this also has a rent cap, which is really important because it keeps that rent level low and it is a huge value add to your investment.
Yeah, it keeps Did you know there are a lot of ways you can keep up with us? For starters, every Wednesday at noon, we host Sold with Updike Pugh, live from our Facebook and YouTube channels. Our show is dedicated to featuring some of the best homes in the Dallas market and about sharing timely information about market trends. But don't worry if you miss the show, because you can always listen to them on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Spotify.
Still want more? Follow us on Instagram, where you get a first-hand look at what it's like to be a realtor. It's not always previewing homes for clients or getting them ready to go live in MLS. Lastly, visit our website and you'll be able to create a custom home search tailored specifically to your wants and needs that's timely and accurate. Whether it's square foot, location, or the neighborhood, we have you covered.
If you'd like to know how much your home is worth, we can help with that too. Just visit homeprice.fyi, enter a few pieces of information like your home address, and we'll email you a price. When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be realtors for life.
Hi everybody, welcome to the second segment, episode 216 of Sold with Updike Pugh. I am Jeff Updike.
And I am Weston Pugh. And today we are going to talk about the highs and lows of living in a high-rise. Pretty apropos given the fact that we just featured an amazing listing on Travis. It is stunning. If you didn't get to see that, go back to our YouTube channel and you can see it. It's amazing.
The number one thing about the advantage of living in a high-rise is the security you get.
It really is. And it's both your security, but also security for your vehicle. Because a lot of people don't realize that living in these urban areas, having a gated entrance is amazing. And that really goes a long way. And having a concierge, that is huge.
It really is. I don't want to say never, because never's not good. I can't imagine there would ever be a time that you would have a salesman knock on your door.
I would agree with that.
And that's becoming more and more prevalent as in single family communities, but not in our rise.
Well, the other thing too, if we're going to talk about security, the security of your packages and deliveries, everything is going to show up. And in high rises, sometimes there is actually a closet so that things that are delivered get set in your owner's closet outside of your unit. Dry cleaning, goods, wine, whatever it is, goes right in there.
And kind of rolling from security into the next advantage, I think, is the lock and leave capacity that you have, because you really just literally lock and leave. If there's an emergency, the management, the concierge has a key to your home. If there is anything that needs to happen, if you need to have any kind of housekeeping done, you just have to let the front desk know that was going to occur, and it all just happens automatically.
Yep. And so whether you're a lock and leave liver because of work or because of downsizing, this is a great place for you.
I need a lock and leave liver.
Is that what they call that? It's also, these are typically in very walkable areas, and given the fact that Travis is one of the most walkable areas, walkable means that you don't need your car to be able to get to the restaurant, get to shopping and entertaining. And this is one of those areas that has it amazingly.
I wish I'd looked up the walkability score on that house we just talked about, because it would have been like 172.
It's only 93, and I don't get that.
Really?
I think it's an old number. It's ridiculous. I think it needs to be higher.
One of the other things that you get in many high rises out there is the amenity list. And most of the time, there are no additional charges that come on. There are, it's like all of the really cool things. The gym, the concierge doorway, the on-site management. Most of these buildings have a full-time manager that is there just looking out for your asset.
The other thing too that a lot of people don't realize is they have valets quite often. Getting your car, I've also seen where they have really great media rooms. I know that there's a downtown over there at the Metropolitan.
1505 Elm.
They actually have media rooms, and that is a reason for everybody to get together to watch the game, to watch the awards. So they create a kind of a community in and of itself.
And maybe they don't have media rooms, but maybe they've got club rooms. I know when we were selling at the Sorrento, they had kind of the cafe. That's where you could come down and get coffee in the morning or get a soda or sit and read the newspaper, because the management company or the HOA made a decision to have The New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, the Dallas Morning News, all brought and delivered there into the cafe.
Some of the actual amenities are rooftop pools, which is a wonderful asset.
Wine room, 1505 Elm has one of the most amazing wine rooms. And each owner has their own wine locker. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take that out. Every owner has their own wine locker in the wine room.
Just make sure that you need all those amenities because they are included in your HOA, which is the next thing we're going to talk about. HOAs are typically calculated by interior square footage. I have heard of certain areas where they actually calculate your square footage, also including your balconies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that as much here, but I think it was awesome that I was hearing a little more about that.
Yeah, I don't. There's only one high-rise that I'm aware of that actually calculates HOA fees a little higher on units that have a downtown view.
Really?
Yeah.
Then, I mean, if you're going to do that, then you might as well calculate HOAs more the higher you go than on the first floor.
Absolutely.
Well, that's not going to happen.
But the good thing is, these HOA fees can vary anywhere from 70 cents to $1 a square foot, depending on which building, how new it is, what kind of maintenance it has, and really you just have to know that you just have to know you're paying that. You have to really be using the amenities, I think, to make that work. And apparently a lot of people really do.
Oh, yeah. And the other thing, too, is that you're made aware of all the amenities and all of the costs associated with those prior to actually executing or closing on a contract. So
Absolutely.
you get plenty of time to be comfortable with what is required as a homeowner of that.
There are a few cons associated with living in a high-rise sometimes. Sometimes you have a limited amount of storage. I know when we were at the Sorrento, that was one of the kind of points we heard from a lot of people coming through. The solution we had there was we had to deal with the public storage that was right around the corner. So if somebody was downsizing, moving into a smaller space, but they had things that they didn't want to get rid of, it wasn't a huge deal to accommodate that.
You also need to be aware of that typically the rule of thumb is one parking space per bedroom. So if it's a couple that has moved into a one bedroom, that can be a little dicey at times. Also, some of the things to think about are noise. You are going to be sharing walls and ceilings and roofs and floors. And so that can actually be an element that you want to look into as much as you can prior to actually moving in.
And that kind of lends into the next point, which is neighbors. You living in high rises, most of the high rises, many of the ultra high rises have independent elevators that service your unit, on different floors, but most of them have one or two elevators, and you are going to have interactions with neighbors. Sometimes taking the dog down to go out in the morning, it's, maybe you've got an HOA rule that says you can't do that in your bathrobe, but,
Well, that's that. The last thing we just want to say is that typically on renovations, this is something that the HOA is going to be made aware of. Typically, you're going to have to schedule that with them, whether it's an elevator or whether it's noise that you're going to be creating. There's also a lot more involvement as far as like vetting your person that is coming in. So that electrician will need to provide insurance and will need to have enough insurance. But the great thing is that they also always have a list of vendors that they have vetted for you.
But the pros far outweigh the cons
Absolutely.
for living in high rises. I think that you can, if you are a high rise person or you just want to experience looking at high rise, please give us a call. We would be happy to make that help. Hopefully you found this interesting. If there's any other topics that you want us to cover, just put them in the comments below or reach out to us. We would be happy to make that happen.
And just remember, we want to be realtors for life.
When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be realtors for life.